Okay. What happens? What if your mother has never ever called you, and when you have called her, she actually says that to you, that you treat me badly, and then, for example, I might say, "Oh, what have I done?" And then she'll go blah blah blah, blah and tell me everything that I've done, and I receive that, and I feel into it and go, "Yup, this is like 10 years ago," and I go, "Yup, no worries, that's right."
Did you do it?
Yeah, I felt into ways of where I've.
Do you feel repentant for doing it?
Yes, I have felt that.
I'd suggest not.
Okay.
Because if you truly feel repentant for doing it, the person doesn't keep repeating the same thing to you generally.
Oh, no, it doesn't happen anymore. Now it doesn't happen anymore.
She doesn't call you at all now?
That's right.
She's angry with you, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, if we're the mother, in other words, if somebody else is calling us and saying, you know, you've treated us badly or whatever,
No.
or we've called them and they say you treat me badly, then my first thing to do would be to look at whether that's truly the case, whether there has been times when I have treated them badly, and then I would go to try to find the underlying causal emotional reason inside of myself why I did it. So if my boys rang up and I've had these discussions with, like, Tristan, for example, where, you know, Tristan says, well, you know, at that particular time, Dad, you did treat me badly. And I go, yeah, certainly. Definitely treated you badly. Now, that's not good enough. I need to look at the reason why I did, right? And a lot of the reasons why I treated my sons badly had everything to do with trying to get the approval of my wife, for example. And so I had to work my way through how much I'm willing to sacrifice for a woman, including sacrifice my own son's welfare for a woman. And I had to go through and look at that emotionally. I had to look at what was my investment in that. So what I'm suggesting to you is to look at what's being said to you and see it as a law of attraction exposing something within you. However, your mum loves guilt trips, yes? Doesn't she?
What's that?
Your mum loves guilt trips. She's an expert at them, is she not?
Yeah, definitely.
This is one reason why you were rebellious when you were a teenager, yes?
Definitely.
Which is the reason why you caused her a lot of grief in your teenage life, is it not?
Most definitely.
Right. So what happened for yourself? And I haven't heard anything about your life. I'm just feeling what you're feeling. What happened for yourself is that your mum oppressed you with this same kind of treatment for a lot of your childhood. You then, in your teenage years, went into rebellion and then purposefully caused her a lot of grief to punish her for her treatment of you. Is that not true?
Yes.
Yeah. And in some ways, you still attempt to punish women for their treatment of you even now. You still have that same pattern. So the key is to allow yourself to look at, firstly, yes, I have this emotion where I want to punish a woman for any perceived injury that I feel they have caused towards me, even if it's just a perceived injury, let alone an actual one. And that comes from the fact that your mum did cause actual injuries in your soul, and you felt this huge desire to rebel and punish her for those particular injuries during your teenage years. And of course, on the receiving end of that, a person doesn't feel very good. So mum wouldn't have felt very good during those particular years of your life. I agree. However, mum's not owning the fact that she created it all. Is she? No.
No.
And as a result of that, there are emotions that I would then go into of why am I still attached to wanting my mother to love me, even though she has proven to me over and over and over and over again that she doesn't love me and that she feels that I have caused her harm. Right? And there's an emotional reason why you want that from her and you're not willing to give it up. You're not willing to grieve how she's treated you properly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that I say it, you can feel it a bit. Allow yourself to grieve how she's treated you. She has treated you very badly. This is why you rebelled when you were a teenager. She treated you like you were worth nothing, and she's narcissistic, and treated you like you were worth nothing, only for her pleasure and enjoyment. And as a result of that, you then went into rebellion. And the key is you're still seeking this love that you feel is missing from her. So when you ring her, you're actually projecting at her, please love me, Mum, this time. This time, love me. This time, love me. And of course, she doesn't love you, and she never has. Right? And so she just gets on the phone and says, I'm upset with you, you've caused me all this trouble, blah, blah, blah. And she proves again that she does not love you. And she proves again that she does not understand that the whole time you rebelled, it was all because of how she treated you. And she's proven again these things over, and let's face it, Renee, she's proven this over and over and over and over again to you, and you still do not want to grieve that your mother does not love you. When you actually cry and grieve that she doesn't love you, which is the cause of these events, you will actually no longer feel like you need her love anymore. Yeah? And once you get to that point, you won't feel like blaming or rebelling or any of the other things towards other women either. Does it make sense?
Yes.
And you will actually have a good sense of yourself rather than a rebellious sense of yourself, which you currently have. Yeah? But can you see that because when we stop trying, when we don't want to deal with the cause, we go into all this effect stuff, and part of the effect stuff is trying to get something from another person. Like one of the things we're adept at doing is we badly want to be loved, right? We badly want love. And it's amazing the lengths we'll go to compromise and compromising truth in order to get the feeling that we feel is love. But I suggest to you that every single time we compromise the truth, it is going to be impossible for us to be loved or feel loved. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So my suggestion there is, again, you're avoiding the cause. The effect is mum attacking you. The cause is the events when you're a teenager, but the real cause of the events when you're a teenager are how your mum treated you when you were little. Yeah? And how you felt as a result of that treatment. Yeah.